Yo!
Are you struggling with getting money? And always running out of money when you try to spin a fruit? Well, I will show you 5 methods to get a lot of money in Blox fruits. And I will also show you 3 things you can do with all that extra money. But enough yapping, let's not waste any more time, and move on to method number 1. In order to do this method, you will need to grab a quest for a boss. Next, you are going to kill that boss as quickly as possible. After that, you are going to use the server tab, switch to another server, and you can just repeat the process all over again. That's all of the basics of this method. But if you want to get the most out of this method, you should farm the right boss, and I will show you the best boss for every sea. For the first sea, the best boss is by far the Vice Admiral boss. Killing this boss will give you 15,000 Pelly, assuming that you don't have the 2 times money game pass. This boss respawns pretty quickly as well, and usually, it's already spawned on every first sea server. But moving on to the second sea boss. The boss you should farm in the second sea is the Fajita boss. The Fajita boss should be pretty close to your spawn point when you spawn in the green zone, which is incredibly useful for farming the boss. But when you kill the boss, you will get 25,000 Pelly without the 2 times money game pass. Fun fact, there is a chance of the Fajita boss dropping a sword called the Gravity Cane, which is one of the best swords in the game. Last but not least, for the third sea, the boss you should farm is the Captain Elephant. When you kill this boss, you will get 40,000 money, without using the fruit storage. That is basically it for method number 1, now we shall move on to the next method. This method is probably the best method to farm money. But unfortunately, you will need to be in the second sea, or the third sea, for this method to work in the first place. But I highly recommend you do this method in the third sea, and I also recommend you to use the Awakened Magma Fruit for its OP abilities. But the first step to this method is you'll have to spawn a boat. And next, you are going to go far from the island, you are going to go far from land, until you see a sea level icon near your compass. I recommend you go to sea level 1, or 2 for the best results. Next, all you have to do is wait until a sea beast spawns. But if a sea beast spawns, it will say sea beast on the top of your screen. Once you manage to kill a sea beast, you will get 100 to 200,000 money, without the 2 times money game pass. Also, the sea beast will have a chance of dropping the Choppa hat, which will be useful in the next method, so there's that I guess. But if you are in the third sea, there is a chance of an event, called the Rumbling Waters to spawn. When this event occurs, it will spawn 3 sea beasts instead of 1. Which means that you'll get 3 times the reward of a normal sea beast event. Overall, sea beasts are by far the best money-making method, if you have the right setup, and enough time. But let's move on to method number 3. Believe it or not, you can actually make a lot of money from AF King, and let me show you how. Before you do anything, getting a private server, or using somebody else's private server will be super useful, so that you don't die in the middle of AF King. But in order to do this method, you'll have to use the Quake Fruit. And you'll have to fully awaken the Quake Fruit. Next, you must be in the third sea in order to do this method. You can also wear the Choppa hat to speed up this method. But after that, you will need to download and install an auto key presser. I recommend using Tiny Task if you're using a laptop or PC. Once you've downloaded it, make sure to set it to spam V. Or if you're on mobile, you can set it to spam the Quake V move. Also, make sure to set your auto key presser to continuously play back and spam the Quake V move without stopping. Once you've finished setting up your auto key presser, you are going to make your way to the Haunted Castle Island. Once you're there, you are going to go on top of this building and go to this spot right here. Once you're standing at the spot, you are going to activate your auto key presser. But that is all for this method. Let's move on to method number 4. This isn't really a method, but it's still incredibly useful to have. The 2 times money game pass is extremely useful for every method in this video. It literally doubles money gained from every source, such as quests and sea beasts as well. You might think that this game pass is impossible to get, unless you spend money. But in fact, you can get this game pass for free by trading for it. The 2 times money game pass is worth 50 million in trading value, which you can get by trading a leopard and a spirit fruit combined. In order to find a trade for the 2 times money game pass, I recommend you use Discord and join the official Blox Fruits server. Once you joined, you can start trading there. And with patience, you'll find a trade for the 2 times money game pass eventually. Anyways, let's move on to method number 5, aka the last method. We've finally made it to the last method of this video. This method is pretty obvious, but in order to get the most out of this method, you will need to use the light fruit, and you'll have to go to the haunted castle island again. Next, you will use the light flight, and you will get on top of this nest. When you reach on top of the nest, there should be 3 chests when you drop down. Once you collect the chests, you can just use the server tab and repeat the process. Now that is all of the money making methods in this video. I will show you things you can buy with your extra money. Endgame items are by far the best items in the game. Some examples of endgame items are Sanguine Art Fighting Style, Electric Claw Fighting Style, Observation Hockey V2, and True Triple Katana. Some of these items will cost 1 to 8 million money, which is a lot for most people. But it will be worth it in the end, since these items take you to the next level in all areas of the game, such as PvP, and grinding, as these items have good synergy with most builds and setups in this game. But let's move on to the next thing you can buy with money. Spinning fruits is one of the best ways to spend your extra money, because you can gain a lot of useful fruits that you can use. I wouldn't recommend you to spin fruits too frequently, unless you've unlocked most of the endgame items. But let's move on to the last thing you can buy with your extra money. Instead of eating your stored fruits, I highly recommend that you save them, be patient, and wait until the fruit becomes available to buy at the Blox fruits dealer. It's a win-win. You get to save fruits for other use cases like raid carries, or trades. And you get to spend extra money lying around. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Make sure to comment anything you found useful, or comment any extra money making methods you know. Also, make sure to subscribe and like as it helps my channel more than you can think. And it keeps me motivated to post new content. But anyways,